I'm Wes Brown.
And I'm Todd Pearson.
And this is our weekly podcast. Hey, Todd, why did you want to start a podcast? Why is this important to you?
You know, I've been kicking around the idea of a podcast for a few years now. I love the format of the podcast. I love how it's, it's different than radio. And you have a specific audience that you're talking to. And so when I was kicking around the ideas for a podcast and how would I go about doing this, I found out that you had already been doing a podcast and had done all this research and had bought equipment. And I thought, wow, how cool is that? My best friend has this podcast that he has already up and running. I'd like to do a podcast. I wonder if he'd do a podcast with me. And so I kind of threw the idea out to you and you were receptive to it. And then we're off to the races. We started kicking around some ideas like, okay, let's do a podcast, but what are we going to do it on? And so we took a good, couple months?
Yeah.
At least to pinpoint and narrow down our idea of what we would like to discuss. We decided that art was one of those things that interests both of us, especially because we're both artists, photographers. So then we thought, okay, let's do this thing. Let's talk to visual artists about their process, their history, what inspires them, and let's talk about the business of art. How do you make money with your art?
Yeah, how can you support your family when you're an artist doing what you love to do? And the other thing I think for both of us too is, we're both very curious about why people do what they do. I love hearing stories of no matter what they do, it could be a truck driver. Why are you a truck driver? I love to hear those stories, how they got into it, why they do it. And I think giving voice to visual artists is going to be a lot of fun because I'm curious about art because it seems like it's something that I like to do. It's kind of like being a musician. I want to be a musician, but I've never put the time in to be a musician. So I love to hear the stories, how they got involved. And so the visual arts thing is the same thing. You got to process. You're working in a medium that I don't even understand right now and don't even know, but I want to know why. I want to know why you're doing it this way. And I want to know how you're able to support yourself doing what you love. And I think those stories are going to be telling for people.
And it's applicable not only to the art world, it's also applicable to anyone that has a dream, anyone that's working at a job or has a career that they're not really into or really like. If there's a dream, if you have a dream, this podcast is for you because maybe this is where you hear a story that inspires you to go off and do what you want to do.
You could be stocking shelves at a grocery store and going home every night and painting till 4 a.m. and just not realizing you can take that next leap, give up the job of stocking groceries and take up the job of doing what makes you happy. This is a podcast for those kind of people.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do, Wes.
Yeah, so I'm a photographer because I have to be a photographer. I do landscapes. I've shot seniors. I've shot weddings. I was a videographer. The past 10 years, I've been working in the nonprofit industry, providing civic education programs to teachers. That's been very rewarding. And then this whole podcasting thing came about. I'm just consume podcasts like it's nobody's business. And I knew I love talking to people. I wanted to start my own podcast, and I was excited to be able to do it with you. The other reason I'm doing this is I've had a curiosity about art and trying to really figure out how did they do that, what medium they worked in, and why they do it. I want to take this journey of exploration of why artists are doing what they're doing and how they're doing it.
I am a freelance photographer. I've been working for 23 years in the industry. I am not a fine artist per se, but I try to bring that fine art and craftsmanship into my commercial work. I've learned that over the years, one of the things that I love about my job, in addition to doing what I love, is that I enjoy talking with people. I enjoy making that connection with another person, learning about what they do, how they're different, but really how we're very much the same, that there's a common thread that runs through each and every one of us that connects us all. We all have the same needs and desires. And especially when I'm talking with the artists, I really relate because it doesn't matter what kind of art or what medium that you work in, there's always a commonality amongst all the arts and artists in what we do. So I've always been curious. I always love and enjoy talking with other people. I tell people all the time I have the greatest job in the world because every day for me is like a career day. I get to go out, meet somebody that I might not necessarily ever come in contact with because of my job, and I get to learn something new about the world. I get to know them and get to learn about them, make that, not only that connection, but I get to see something new and different, and I get to be educated. So for me, it's an education, and I think that's what this podcast will do, not only for ourselves, but also for the listener. They'll get, hopefully every time out, they'll come away with some kind of information that they can apply no matter what they do to their lives. They'll make a connection with this person. And I think that's what's great about podcasts in general.
Yeah. So this is our podcast. We hope you enjoy it. We're going to have some great guests on, some great artists that are actually making a living doing their art, what stirs their soul. I'm Wes Brown.
And I'm Todd Pearson.
This is Tenet.